Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. This is championship month. Playoffs across the board. Some semis, some quarterfinals, some championships. Let's look at high school football. Top rushers in the playoffs. Evan Wright of Mars. I think he has about 1,400 or 1,500 yards rushing for the year. He had 131 and 3 touchdowns in a 24-14 playoff win over Central Valley. The Italian Beaufort of Beaver Falls, 130 yards in a 14-13 win over Neshannock. Logan Kushner of North Allegheny, 125 yards in a 49-7 win over Cannon Mac. In passing, Luke Goodworth of Mars, 198 yards. You talk about a kid stepping up and filling in. When Kasparovich got hurt, this kid's done a terrific job. Logan Kushner of North Allegheny, 104, and receiving Cole Yoshioka of Mars, 3 for 81 yards and a touchdown. Here's the playoff schedule in 6A championship. It'll be North Allegheny, 10-1 versus Central Catholic. That'll be Saturday at Norman.
You know, I could have saved them 12 weeks of time.
Yeah, they could have done it. Yeah,
it's the truth.
This is what. That's why next year already Norman and Hempfield are coming into 6A. No word yet what Butler's going to do, but don't be surprised. There's another 1 or 2 teams that get bumped up.
And I'll still have NA and Central Catholic in the finals.
Yeah. Well, what would make a difference in there and take away if Pine were to go back here?
Right.
Because Pine's beating them both.
Pine's played good, yes.
Yeah. And the winner will be?
Central Catholic.
NA.
I'm going to take NA in an upset,
okay.
too. Let's go to 5A. Pine Ridge and a 16-9 winner over Penn Hills, avenging a regular season loss. But Penn Hills took care of their Wildcat, stuffed it pretty much. So Pine Ridge now will take on Peters Township, undefeated, 12-0. That will be at Norwin noon. Peters Township's already beaten 3 6A teams this year.
That's what Peters Township in this one.
That's the most points they've given up in one game all year. 18.
They sound really tough.
I have to take Peters Township in that one.
And the 4A semis, it'll be Mars 10-2 versus Aliquippa 11-0. That'll be Friday at North Allegheny. How about the Quips? They struggled, got by Latrobe 37-29. The saving grace was running back Tiki Hayes going to Penn State. He rushed for 256.
Yeah, Aliquippa's playing up. They're going to struggle some games. You know,
right.
The depth they don't have, what these kids have.
You know what, though?
It's just amazing what they do.
There's a message there. The big star is going where?
Penn State.
Not Penn.
They got them all. They got them all from this area this year.
I know.
And in the other semi, McKeesport, this will be a tremendous game. 10-1 versus Montour, 10-1. This Montour team, no one talks about. They are very good.
But no one talks about McKeesport either.
They're always good.
Every year.
They got screwed that one championship
They did.
season.
Oh,
did they ever get screwed?
Oh, Lord.
And 3A semis will be Bell Vernon and East Allegheny, Avonworth and Elizabeth Forward. Avonworth, one of the teams that they beat Central Valley this year.
I was surprised that it's not Bell Vernon and Avonworth. I was surprised.
At 2A, Beaver Falls snuck in there with a 7-5 record. They take on Washington 11-1. Still Valley 9-1 versus Mohawk 10-2.
Mohawk's first time reaching semifinals in history of the school. Beaver Falls injured all year, had a really good team. They finally got their health back. Yeah,
dangerous team.
Don't think they
right
can't
now.
do it. Yes.
Yes. And in 2A sub-regional, Westinghouse undefeated 11-0. They beat Berlin Brothers 37-20. Now, I'm not sure who they're going to play next.
I'm not sure either, but I just know whoever they're playing, they're going to beat.
and there's some real good games in Class A. Southside Beaver 12-0 versus Clairton 10-2. Fort Cherry 13-0 versus Bishop Canavan 9-1.
Southside Beaver will roll in their game. The other game's a toss-up.
And hats off to Carn City coach Joe Sherwin. He was the District 9 Region 1 Coach of the Year. Boys soccer, 4A quarterfinals, Central Bucks South 2, North Allegheny nothing. North Allegheny finishes 17-3-3. They're not happy, even with a 17-3-3 record. And in girls soccer, 4A, North Allegheny 3, Central Dolphin 2, a winning goal by Jaden Coy. It was the first loss of the year for Central Dolphins. Now in the semis, North Allegheny 22-1. They'll take on Conestoga. In 3A, Mars 2, Montour 1 on an overtime goal by Ainsley Ray. Next up for Mars, they will take on Moon. And how's good Moon? Moon's come down. They were 4A and they won it. Now they're down to 3A. And
I'd have trouble being a soccer coach.
Yeah.
in overtime, my heart would be going through my because one mistake.
Yeah.
Boom,
Okay.
it's over,
yes.
just like that.
Yep.
1A first round PIAA, Bishop Guilfoyle 2, Carn City nothing. Carn City finishes a great year, 17-2-1. And in girls volleyball quarterfinals, 4A, North Allegheny 3, Dallastown 1. They're trying to find out how Dallastown won that. For NA, 18-1. How about this? It's their 7th straight semi appearance.
Yeah.
They must have did. They huddled up for it, so we'll give them one.
Yeah.
We'll give them one today. Jeez.
And in quarterfinals, 3A, WPIAL champion Hampton 3, Bald Eagle nothing. North Catholic 3, Thomas Jefferson nothing. So now the semis will be Hampton 23-0 versus North Catholic 20-1 in a rematch of the WPIAL championship game. This will be a great one. This will be a
great
good
one to see. Oh
Yeah.
no, there'll be some serious great players in that game.
Quarterfinals in 2A, Phillipsburg Osceola defeated the defending state champs Freeport 3-0. The Yellow Jackets, they finished another great year, 21-2.
Phillipsburg's been good at the girls' sports. They've been really good at girls' sports.
Softball, soccer, yeah. Great.
All right, let's go to our stories of the week. It's now in the NFL the Steelers' way. Win ugly. It doesn't matter. As the late Al Davis said, just win, baby. The Steelers 23, Green Bay 19. And, no one's talked about the pivotal point in that game was a blocked extra point by Pat Peterson, because at the end of that game with Green Bay in the red zone, they kick a field goal, send it into overtime. Huge play by Peterson.
Yeah, that is the way the Steelers are winning. 2 or 3 plays throughout the game, they're getting it done. Those plays, other teams not, and they play those. They play to win this way. Don't be we're watching. This is not changing. If they win, they're going to win the same way.
No, there's no change. And the thing is, the last 2 wins both ended with teams in the red zone throwing passes that you think, well, there could be the winning score right there, and game's over.
Twice I've got calls from guys who haven't called me in a while that were calling their friends and calling me by accident to complain about the Steelers. And I'm thinking,
hey,
they're not
be used to
satisfied.
it,
Do you understand? They're
man.
6 and
it's
3.
6-3. It's hello yesteryear, return to the rushing game, 205 yards rushing. It's buckle up football. Here we come, baby. And here's the unusual thing. Okay, Pickett only threw for 126 yards, and as long as they're doing these other things, they could win, as long as he doesn't turn it over. But in these last 8 games, 5 on the road, he's going to have to turn it up a notch.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to win. It's going to be hard for them to win, but the way they play, against better teams.
I'm just looking for 3 wins.
Yeah.
I got 3 home games they can win. That's all I know. Those road games, I'm not looking very kindly at those 3 road games.
But what you want to notice is teams that they rate higher than them, and they lose.
Yeah.
Ravens,
Yeah.
Bengals. Everybody saw
We're
they're
going to get
you
to that.
understand?
Yeah.
It's just,
They get beat,
Hey,
yeah.
let me say this. Since the history of the NFL, 1933, the Steelers are the only team, first 9 games, to have a winning record, but outgained by every opponent. They give up over 380 yards a game defensively. They're ranked like 28th in that department. Offensively, they only gain less than 300 yards a game. Any other year, any other team, you got a losing record.
yes, they do have a formula though, that they have to follow to the T. They have to not turn the ball over and have a great red zone defense.
Yeah.
If either one of them break,
When if they don't run for 150 yards, they lose.
if either one of those break down,
They have 5 plays of over 30 yards, Sonny Green Bay still lost.
Yeah.
I know that's amazing.
And Green Bay, I think Love did a decent job. They only sacked him once.
That's why the line did a good job.
He's better Love than what I thought he was. I have to give him credit. He threw for 289 yards and made some big plays. The sad news for the Steelers, for the second week in a row, they lose a middle linebacker. Alexander out now for the rest of the year. I think it's an ACL.
Yeah.
He follows Holcomb. That's really, you just don't pick up middle linebackers every day.
It's so hard in the NFL to make it through the year without injuries.
The
Every
trade
team has
deadline's
it.
over,
Oh, my
too,
gosh.
so you can't trade.
Every team
Yeah.
has
Trade
it.
deadline's over.
Yeah. Well, all you can do is try to claim someone off waivers.
Yeah, some men are practice.
And so you got to bring him in, and he's got to learn within 3 days your defensive system. That's tough. Hey, around the AFC North, what a crazy weekend. Cleveland down 31-17 in the fourth quarter, come back and beat the Ravens 33-31 on Dustin Hopkins' 40-yard field goal after he missed an extra point. So now the Browns 6-3, the Ravens 7-3, and this weekend in the NFL, our record 6 games ended with walk-off field goals. And I'm beginning to believe about John Harbaugh that he makes. You're winning 31-17. Why are you throwing the ball down the red zone when you got what's his name, Justin Tucker, on the sideline? You kick a field goal, it's 34-17. It's pretty much over.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I believe when he plays the Steelers, if it's a close game, the Steelers will beat them. They have to blow the Steelers out to beat them, I think.
On another note, what I was thinking when you talked about the game, Watson finally looked like a quarterback again.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. If he plays good for Cleveland, they have a really good team.
Ran.
They have a really good team.
Good defense.
And the other thing about Lamar, while he's a terrific player, and crunch time, he makes more mistakes than anyone. Where is he throwing that ball in the end zone that time?
Things a lot like Josh Allen. They ask him and Allen to do so much.
Too much.
There's going to be mistakes.
But he has a runner back there. Allen doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. He has Gus Edwards. He could have run him down.
Yeah.
When they're down in that red zone, it's fourth quarter, third. I'm saying, okay, be conservative, run the ball, bring Tucker in, kick the field goal. You're up by 17. Almost impossible to overcome. So much for that. Now, next up, Baltimore 7-3 versus Cincinnati 5-4. Baltimore by 3.5. That's Thursday night.
Yeah, I like the home team on a short week.
Steelers at Browns. The Browns by 4. What do you think here?
I know who the better team is, but somehow Steelers get it done.
Yeah.
The Browns have a better team. Just look at their overall players. They're going to have 4 or 5 guys in a Pro Bowl. Pittsburgh's going to have 2. I mean, it doesn't seem...
What are their defenders I saw without yesterday got hurt Sunday?
That was for Cincy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was it for
The
Cincy?
defensive end.
Oh,
but
man.
they said he was able to walk under his own power in
Henderson.
in the sharp. Bringing up that game, Houston 30, Cincy 27 on the last second 38-yard field goal by Matt Amendola. C.J. Stroud 356 yards. Can he be Rookie of the Year and MVP?
He can be.
You know, it's only
Has that ever happened
He
before?
can. I don't remember ever
Who
having
did
it
it?
before. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. Tim Brown.
Oh, is that
Tim
right?
Brown did it?
Tim Brown
Okay.
did it? Okay, for the Raiders. Joe Burrow, 347 yards, and Tyler Boyd, who had a great game, 8 catches, 117 yards, but he dropped the winning touchdown pass all alone in the end zone.
Did you see him after the game? He was so distraught. He was.
And he's such a good player.
Nice to know somebody cares. I like that.
Yeah, such a good player. That's a tough one. So look at this AFC North. It's crazy, guys. Baltimore 7-3, Steelers 6-3, Cleveland 6-3, Cincy 5-4.
There's a chance that all 4 get in the playoffs.
I was just thinking that the closest it came was the year that goof for San Diego didn't play for the tie, or it'd have been all 4.
That's right.
I could see it coming again.
And
right
what helps it is that Buffalo lost to Denver.
Absolutely.
There's going to be more
big.
losses along the way. There's going to be. That's the NFL. You never know what's going to happen.
Hey, the Lions win 41-38 over the Chargers, putting a nail into the Chargers' playoff coffin just about. The Seahawks 29-26 over Washington. And then here's a team. I don't think you want to play Houston. I don't think anyone will play Minnesota. Josh Dobbs goes from team to team. They went to Minnesota. The players were amazed. He got in the huddle. Just tell me this or that. He knew the passing routes. He was only there for 2 days, and he led them to victory. Smart kid, engineering degree from Tennessee. Maybe a kid the Steelers should have kept.
Well, I'm amazed because I didn't see it,
Yeah.
but I was wrong. Dobbs is good. No, it's not like it's a fluke.
Very good.
No, it's not a fluke. When I'm watching him play, I see these other lousy quarterbacks playing.
Can't move all at all.
He does everything pretty good.
And how about the coaching job done there? Because they started off 1-3, lost Kirk Cousins, and now they've won, 5 out of their last 6?
5 in a row, yeah.
5 in a row. And it's hard to win 5 in a row in the NFL.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, we go to our power rankings. They jump up. The big game this week will be number 1 Eagles at number 2 Kansas City.
It's
the
awesome.
Chiefs by 3.
I like when those games come up.
Yeah.
I like seeing those kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
I've elevated Detroit to number 3. I got the 49ers back in there. They drive you crazy. At 4, Dallas at 5, Miami at 6, Cleveland 7, Baltimore 8, the Steelers 9.
They moved
Seattle
in.
10.
You've got them in there finally. Attaboy.
Hey, 6-3. That game, the Steeler game at Seattle, is going to be an interesting game.
Last game.
Yeah.
Well,
I just hope Steelers are still in it because I'm telling you, I can see them losing 5 or 6 in a row. But I look and watch them play.
I'm saying again, if they don't rush for 100, they lose. If they don't rush for well over 100 against Cleveland, they're going to lose because
I don't
you
think
put
they
it all
will.
on Pickett.
You do think they could beat New England, Arizona, and Colts at home?
Oh, glad you
They
brought
won't
it.
be
They can, but that don't mean they will. Green Bay was down
Hey.
in the wire.
Oh, I
You're
know.
bringing up New England. I call it the collapse in Germany. What a game for the Germans
what
to
about
watch.
that?
Indy 10, the Patriots 6. You know the Patriots moved up and down the field. They're 2-8 now. The worst start for Belichick since he started his first year. Quarterback Mac Jones, for the third time this year with a game on the line, he's thrown 3 red zone picks.
But wait,
This one from the 1-yard line.
wait a minute. You can't strip him of his dignity in front of the other guys. That he benched him in the 2-minute drill.
Yes.
You cannot do that to that. He's done.
He's done. I agree. He's done. But throwing an interception from the 1-yard line.
While you're throwing it.
Three red zone. I
It was
agree with
bad.
you.
It was
I agree
bad.
with you.
That's
there.
the question I have.
Did you see O'Brien jump him?
Yeah.
Oh,
they all
gee.
jump.
Yeah, the close. So they're 2-8, and they're 3 plays from being 5-5. But that's the NFL.
Yes, the NFL.
Now Belichick. Now post Brady, he's 27-35. Look what he did with Brady: 249-75, 17 division titles, 9 AFC titles, and 6 Lombardis. That's it. So should Robert Kraft keep Belichick the coach and fire Belichick
That's what
the
I would
GM?
do. That's what I would do.
Fire him as a GM.
Yeah, that's what I would
He's
do.
not done it, really. That's a good point. He needs help there because his picks aren't coming.
If I'm Kraft, I'm saying to him, look, Bill, you're done. You coach. I'm getting someone else to take
That's what I
care
would do.
of the draft.
You think he would quit?
He quit the second.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
there's nobody telling him.
You know what?
You think he-
Here's the thing about
He
him.
coaching the Chargers.
I know Jones leads with 10 interceptions, but they may have the worst receiving core in all of
He
pro
drafted
football.
him.
He drafted him, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, college football, are we shocked? Kutztown's Golden Bears stuffed the Rock 31-7. I'm shocked. The Rock came into the game averaging 46 points a game. They didn't score a touchdown to the final minute. They were held to 47 yards rushing. Slippery Rock, the number 1 offense. Kutztown, the number 1 defense. And Slippery Rock's quarterback, Braden Long, all year long, only 2 interceptions. In that game, he threw 3.
The competition goes up, baby. That's what happens, and you don't see defenses like that. And when you see them, what do you think? What this always worked all year. Where do I go now?
Yeah.
And I'll say at least they got into the playoffs. So
They get
I'm
in.
happy they got in.
And they were number 5 going into that game. They dropped all the way back to 15. They're at home Saturday with East Stroudsburg, and they need to put this game
They will. They
away.
will.
You know what
Right
happens
away.
if they win? They go to Tiffin.
Tiffin's
Number 1.
Number 1. Yeah. Hey, that's the way it is.
Yeah, when you lose that last game, that was a big deal.
Yep. Grove City 31-0. The 10-0 Wolverines got 105 yards rushing from running back Nico Flotti, Aliquippa player, and quarterback Logan Fufer threw for 154. Grove City now number 18 in Division III. They are at number 9 Susquehanna.
Yeah, that should be interesting. They got to go to Silly's Grove. They were hoping for a home game.
2 undefeated teams.
Yes.
That's really interesting.
Hey, number 2, Michigan 24, Penn State 15. Michigan did not throw a pass in the second half. Hello, Princeton Rutgers 1869. They rushed for 227. They stuffed Penn State's passing game, holding Allard to just 70 yards passing in the game. I'm not surprised. The thing is, Michigan's up 14-3. Penn State scores, and they're going for 2?
Okay.
Why? Now you're chasing the whole game,
Please,
right?
Yes.
Please, might see that.
How come us 3 know that and
Yeah.
they don't?
Now tell me,
I can't take it.
What about these timeouts he took? They made no sense to me.
Well, I just know on game day he's one of the worst, and he needs to hire somebody who can help him out on game day
I gave
because he
him 10
recruits.
years.
He recruits like crazy.
I gave him 10 years. I said the last straw was chasing the 2. The Stroudsburg came out in him, and I was done.
He's 4-16 versus Michigan and Ohio State, 3-17 versus the top 10. You know, like in the old days at Roman Coliseum, where the mob would scream for blood someone's head.
They wanted him.
Well, he gave him someone's head. He gave him the offensive
Yeah,
coordinator, Mike Urich, who otherwise the last 3 years, offensive coordinators helped Penn State win 10 or more games a year, except they can't beat Michigan or Ohio State.
Hey, don't forget that's 5 or 6 season 10 years now.
Yeah,
he fires somebody every year.
You
he
know,
does fire somebody every year.
to
Was
me,
he told? Okay, I'm asking you both. Was he told?
I don't think he was told. It was like saying, "Hey, coach, we're not doing very well offensively. We're going to come after you." That's what I'm saying.
he got booed and gave them your seat.
Yeah, he did.
A gutless move, as far as I could see it, is a gutless move. Don't boo me. Boo. Here he is. That Greyhound bus just ran him over.
Wait a minute. I wasn't in the meeting. How about that?
Yeah.
2 thoughts on that. Number one, I told you in high school, college football, I do not believe you can win a national championship if the quarterback can't move. And they got a guy that can't move. So that's one. And number 2, please, Michigan. Harbaugh did not die.
Yeah.
After the game.
The coach was weeping over the funeral.
Oh, he did this for If you didn't know about it, you thought he was in a hospital.
Yeah. Hey, let me say this, falling back to Harbaugh. I'm no Michigan fan. I'm no Harbaugh fan. But there's so much hypocrisy surrounding this thing. Yeah. Did you hear that Purdue had a coach? Yeah. They stole Michigan signals and shared them with the rest of the Big Ten. So why aren't you punishing everybody? Huh? And I've yet to see the hard evidence. Have you?
No, you'll see it Friday. They're going to be
okay. Let's see if they bring it out. And speaking of quarterbacks, the player of the year, maybe this century, is what Jalen Daniels did at LSU. He threw for 372.
He's the best quarterback in the country.
And ran for 234. He doesn't have a good arm. He has a great arm.
But he can run like a deer, too. They talk about everybody
terrific.
else. He's the best.
He is the best.
I watch him play. It's really simple.
Oh,
he's the best.
I love watching him play.
He's the best. He's light, so I worry about
in 3 losses, take him out.
What is he, about 6'3", 180?
Yeah, he's skinny, but I'm telling you, he's
He's going to play
great.
If I'm some pro team, I'm looking at him.
You got to.
If I'm New England, I'm going to go tank. I'm trying to draft him. Syracuse 28, Pitt 13. You talk about it. Last week, Syracuse won. They threw for 37 yards the week before. On Saturday, they threw for a whopping 17 yards.
They were playing something. George, what number? What number?
Number 85 or something.
The tight end rushed for 156 yards.
That's what I'm saying. That is one of the worst coaching jobs ever.
Isn't he supposed to be a defensive guy?
I put all 11 up there saying, okay, if you're going to throw for 17 yards, pass it.
They ran a wildcat with the tight end.
I know.
They rushed for 382 yards. Pitt had 60 yards rushing. And Christian Veer, the quarterback for Pitt, he threw for 161. He threw an interception.
Now I see why he wasn't playing.
2 fumbles. So in 5.5 games, he's thrown 8 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, and he's fumbled 4 times. Jacoby
he'll be back in.
Bench
he'll be back in on Thursday, I think. I think Jacoby will be back in on Thursday.
Playing against his old team, BC.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do believe that.
You know, I watched them. They're feisty.
I think.
They're not talented, Al, but they'll get you.
Well, they can get Pitt.
Oh, for sure.
Well, Pitt now 2-8. Is this their worst record? I'm going back to the Dave Hart years when they went 1-10 3 years in a row.
He went from Johnstown High to Pitt.
Yeah, and then when Johnny Majors came back, they got beat by Ohio State 72-0.
Didn't Ohio State score on a kickoff with 8 or 9 guys in the field?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Mrs. Narduzzi has to be calling right now. Kenny Pickett, say Kenny.
Do you have any time?
Thanks for what you did for my husband.
Yeah,
because if Pickett didn't come through there, he'd have lost his job.
Now, when I was reading some articles this week, I'm wondering, are these guys watching the same Pitt team that we're watching? Their defense is getting better, set up for next year. How better? He gave up 58 to
That's why you don't watch and listen.
500.
They know nothing.
They gave up 500 yards to Tennessee and got blistered on the ground, almost 400 yards rushing to Syracuse. How is that getting better?
Syracuse is BAD.
Yes, they are. They keep talking about how tough Narduzzi is and how he does. As I watch Pitt play, I don't see it. I don't see the toughness.
Well, next up, here comes BC, 6-4 after a 5-game winning streak was slaughtered by Virginia Tech, 48-22 at home.
You know, young Pry needed Pitt to come in there that week. They were losing.
He got their confidence,
and they got their confidence back against Pitt.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, BC got a big physical offensive line, and they are going to stuff the ball down Pitt's throat.
Wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is that Thursday night?
Yeah, I think so. Oh.
Hey, guys, we talk about what's going on in college football with Michigan and everything. I heard a West Mifflin school board member watched the Westmoreland team practice, stole their signals and stuff, and gave it to an opposing team. Have you ever heard of anything like this?
In 2023, I believe everything. I'm telling you.
He had a business thing across the street or some garbage. The coach confronted him. I'm
How
like,
can I keep this guy on a school board?
Parents are nuts. That's all you can say. Anytime anytime
you
your
wrong
blood,
his child,
if
you
your
know?
blood's playing,
Oh, was that
don't do
some of
anything.
it? He was mad something.
Listen, you
it.
watch today. They want you to win with their kid in there. They don't just want you to win. They want you to win with their kid.
They want you to lose with their kid in there. If he's playing, they don't care who wins the game.
No.
Hey, by the way, in College Station today, 2 trucks are pulling up. One a moving van for Jimbo Fisher. The other's a Brinks truck. He gets $75 million. The rest of his staff gets another $80 million, $150 million buyout.
Hey, I got one for
George,
you.
tell them what you told me on the way out.
This is a true story.
George said this on the way up
His
to me.
first job, he made $26,000. He makes more than that per day now.
This after a 51-14 win over Mississippi State.
They
to
fired
6
him
and
too,
4.
by the way. Mississippi State
They fired a Boise State coach too. But the AD for Texas A&M, it sounded like the end of the world the way he was talking. I mean, this stuff's so out of kilter. And when you have these college coaches making more than the chancellor, making more than the dean of the law school, making more than the head of the medical school,
they're the highest paid
crazy
guy in the state. And one more thing on that. The bottom line is that's irresponsible to me. In other words, if you're at Texas A&M and you're paying for something, you're thinking, wait a minute. They got 76.
The parents should be upset. Why aren't they paying for their scholarship?
Then they get a letter. They may make even the students got to pay for tickets.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
And then the tuition keeps going up each semester.
And these get paid $76 million.
And one more thing, they're not Texas.
Right. Hey, I'm going to find one else comment. What's going on with this college football uniform fashion trend? No knee pads.
You like that, Eddie?
No, I don't. Not above the knees. What is this? The pros don't do it.
No, not allowed.
Eddie used to wear his girdles. You had girdle pads, didn't you, Eddie?
Yes. I don't understand
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Hey, that's it for us. We've run out of time. We'll see you next week.
Your support matters to small businesses now more than ever. November 25th is Small Business Saturday, a day to celebrate small businesses and all they do for our communities. Stop by, visit online, leave a review, or tell a friend about your favorite small business. Shop small on Small Business Saturday, November 25th, proudly backed by Armstrong Business Solutions. For profiles on small businesses in your area, check out Business as Usual on the Armstrong Neighborhood channel or on YouTube.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood channel.
Business Pro Wi-Fi from Armstrong Business Solutions is more than just Wi-Fi. It enhances productivity, tightens security, and is tailor-made for small business. Take control over guest networks with a branded portal, protect sensitive data, and manage staff with the WorkPass app. Business Pro Wi-Fi gives you customer insight, turning analytics into opportunities. Get a fully connected business intelligence platform in the palm of your hand. Business Pro Wi-Fi from Armstrong Business Solutions.